Hello and welcome to Sarcastic Videos. Today we're going to be talking about the Netflix original movie, Handsome, a Netflix mystery movie, starring Jeff Garlin and Natasha Lyonne. And this movie was also written and directed by Jeff Garlin, which, to be honest, I'll tell you right away, you can tell. To start with, there's a very interesting introduction by Steven Weber, who's in the movie. He's not a starring role, doesn't have a starring role, according to the credits though. But he introduces the movie as himself, says, hi, I'm Steven Weber, and I'm the murderer in the show. Like, he actually just ruins the whole show right there and tells you who the murderer is. And then, but he also calls this a multi-platform event, which I'm not sure what that is referring to, because this is just a movie on Netflix. I don't know why you would call it a multi-platform event. It's just a streaming movie. Maybe because you can stream it on multi-platforms, they decided to refer to it like that, but it's an odd way to describe the movie. So the star is Jeff Garlin, playing a character called Gene Handsome, and he's about to retire, and he's got a captain who has a crush on him. And in the very beginning, like right from the start, you see apparently he's the only detective, and in a way Natasha Lyonne's character also, who actually knows what they're doing, and the rest of the detectives are just kind of these quirky characters who are bad at their job. And they kind of introduce in the very beginning some of these characters. Like there's a really dumb detective who knows nothing. There's one detective who keeps introducing himself even though he's been on the job for a while, and and Gene Handsome actually hired him, but he keeps introducing himself and then going on these like wild theories about what happened. And it's just the police chief who has a crush on him. You got the Natasha Lyonne, who's a fairly odd character, but I think it's really the only laughs in the movie, and that's not because of what is written for her, but the way she delivers the lines and her acting make it funny compared to what's actually written on the paper. And you can tell that she performed above the script, basically. And it starts out really slow. Like, it's introducing these characters who you barely ever see throughout the movie, so they spend all this time on it, which seems like a waste. And a lot of it feels like padding. It's only an hour and 20 minutes, but there's a lot of padding. Like, it could have been some half-hour thing, really, with the amount of scenes that are just seem like they were added for no reason whatsoever, but to introduce quirky characters and try and make you laugh. He has a neighbor who's a former cop and now works as a PI, and you think maybe that'll come into it, but no. The only time he talks to him is when he's walking by with his dog, and that's it. There's a trophy wife, played by Leah Remini, and she has 2 lines. Like, it's just such a waste of quirky characters that never get involved, other than to have these like 2-minute conversations with the main character. And it honestly sounds like something where Jeff Garlin just decided to test out his stand-up on his neighbors. That's what it sounds like, and that's what it looks like on the screen. As far as his direction, like, it's not that bad actually. It's just the writing and his acting. His acting is very wooden. He doesn't emote pretty much at all. It just seems like he's reading off lines, and that's not, like, to me, I'm not a big fan of Jeff Garlin, but when I think he's funny is when he's going on rants and things like that, which he barely ever does in this movie. And then it gets to the murder, finally, which again, like, it's an hour and 20 minutes, and they slowly pad to the murder, so it feels like it takes a long time, but it's actually, like, I would say probably 70% of the movie is actually about this case. The rest is just padding. So the murder is, they find this body on an actor's lawn, and the actor is played by Steven Weber, who, because he told you in the first minute of the movie, you already know he's the murderer, which is just ridiculous to watch. And he's an actor, so of course, as an actor, he's a cliche. He's full of himself. He talks about his instrument, his body is his instrument, and things like that. And it's just such a cliche. But the victim of the murder has connections with Gene Hansom's neighbor, who he meets and likes, and of course she doesn't like him. She's got a boyfriend, or a hookup, basically, not really a boyfriend. But he has a crush on her, and he listens to it, and he's kind of in the friend zone, listens to her problems and blah blah. And a lot of time is spent on this. They investigate the murder, find out that it is the actor who said he was the murderer right in the very beginning of the show. And they close the case, and it's just, the reasons for the murder are ridiculous, and not in a funny way. They're ridiculous they actually thought this was a valid reason for somebody to murder somebody, to the point where they made a movie about it. And as for the neighbor coming over and giving him his sob stories, and this is a spoiler, but so if you want to turn off, go ahead, but it's not a good movie, and I'm not going to recommend it. But because of all the sob stories the neighbor told him, he actually spent a bunch of money to give her what she wanted, which was like an acreage out somewhere where she could just do dog massage for a living instead of being a dentist. So it doesn't tell you this, it's more implied than anything else, but yeah, he's basically a sugar daddy without any sugar. It just makes no sense that he would just have that kind of connection with a neighbor that he's known for a few days, and just spoil her like that and put himself on the line like that, especially when you can kind of tell that she has no interest in him, and she's flirting with all these other guys and stuff, so it's not going to go anywhere for him. So it's just odd. It's an odd ending. It's more sad than anything else. It's more pathetic than anything else, but not in a funny way. Not in a way that's going to make you laugh at his situation or him at all. It just makes you feel sad and sorry for the guy. Just a little bit. It's not a very good character. It's not a very good movie. The mystery is not much of a mystery. The only redeeming part is Natasha Lyonne, and she's barely in it. So, as far as this movie goes, I don't recommend it. I would give it probably a 4 out of 10. And as far as Netflix goes, with the thumbs up, thumbs down system, it's going to get a thumbs down for sure. So there you go. That is the Netflix original movie, Handsome, a Netflix mystery movie. Which, awesome title, really confusing, doesn't make much sense. So there you go. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe, or all of the above. Thank you, and have a nice day.